Hello, check hello. I think I did this right. You never know with a pig. Come here, XP. I'll just wait a few moments. See if chat catches up and all that good stuff. OBS looks like it's running good, so I think we're 10 steps ahead where we were last time as far as getting everything set up. Everything seems to have stayed in place, so. There's PP Zerk. Woohoo, awesome. Now, hang on 1 second. I know what I need to do. I'm looking at OBS's stream chat right now. I do want to switch that over to Twitch's iteration of it. Hey, Final. Man, how have you been? Long time. Iteration of it. Mute that. That's just going to be echoes upon echoes. Iteration of it. Uh-oh, not again, no. Mute that. That's just going to be echoes upon echoes. Iteration of it. Oh, it's just going to be like, oh. Okay, hopefully I got that fixed. There we go. You already had to ban a bot? That's insane. What, do they just sit around waiting? Oh my gosh. How have you been, Final? So every once in a while I'll see you tweeting about doing speed runs on stuff. But other than that, I have no idea how you are and what you've been up to. Alright, let's see here. I gotta take a second, get my bearings, trying to remember what in the world was I doing. Let's see, 300. I need to go back up to the surface and check something. I cannot remember for the life of me. I think Dadcraft's coordinates was 711. I need to double check that one. You barely touch Minecraft anymore. It's either been World of Warcraft or speedrunning for a while now. Did you just get bored with Minecraft? Let's see here. Or is it... Well, I mean, I guess that's not fair to say. Did you get bored with Minecraft, or maybe it's more like... Here, I'm going to pause watching the stream just so I can not eat up all my bandwidth. You need and want to get back into World of Warcraft. You miss it. I never have played that game. Okay, let's see here. So... Oh, this is crazy, mate. Oh, wait. Okay, so... Why did I say 7-Eleven then? Oh, you know what? I was thinking this direction 7-Eleven, which was correct, but it's this direction at 500 that I need to not go past so that I don't encroach in his area. Super Fishy, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Your interest in most game comes and goes, just got tired of Minecraft and also got more interested in World of Warcraft. That makes sense. Yeah, I think the first thing that I had issue with, it's the same thing with Diablo, because I tried playing Diablo years ago when it first kind of came out, everybody was just, it was all the rage. And there's something about playing a game third person that just, I don't know, it just bugs me. I guess because I've spent years playing Minecraft, and then I've spent years playing Call of Duty, which are both first person. Now, well, I was going to say, I played like Final Fantasy games, but those, I don't even know if you could call those third person. I guess they are, but it does change a lot. Like, the old school Final Fantasy VII would actually be like static images with your character running far off in the distance and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Love Call of Duty back in the day. Okay, so I'll say something that's probably slightly controversial. I'll probably start a riot, but it's okay. It's my stream. I guess I can handle a riot. Modern Warfare 3. Both myself... Oh, I shouldn't be using all that coal. I need some of that because I ran out of torches. Modern Warfare 3, both myself and my son, who has since grown up, we both felt like that was our favorite version. I'm not going to say it's the best version of Call of Duty. I know better than to say that. That's like trying to say a certain piece of food is the best food, or a certain type of music is the best music, and it's all subjective. So, but I will say for myself and for my son as well, because we both have talked about this, because I know they remade, I'm trying to remember which Call of Duty it was. I think they had done like a remastered HD version of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And I tried the Modern Warfare when they had it, I think it was for free on PlayStation. And I downloaded it and was playing it with my son. He had his own PlayStation in his own apartment. And so we were just kind of linking up and playing. It just wasn't near as fun as I remember it. It's like the controllers, or not the controllers, but the controls were just so awkward compared to newer Call of Duties, if that makes sense. So it wasn't as fun as I remembered it. But then playing like Modern Warfare 2 and I wish they would redo a Modern Warfare 3, but they haven't. Did I put those sticks back? I'm like talking and not paying attention. Where did I put the sticks? We might just have to start growing some trees here. Let's see. I do have some room opened up down beneath. Maybe we could just go and start planting some trees down there. I am going to start needing to get acacia anyway. And where's my axe? I think I put it... Oh, it's all the hitboxes getting in the way. Why are you messing with my hitboxes? There we go. I'll take that axe. And probably need to take some of that dirt that I just set down. Yeah, this place is a mess, I tell you. You saw sticks that I used? Oh, okay, I turned them into torches. And they're right there. Oh, well, this is a tiny space. This is like my little emergency storage room. Because, let's make it daytime at least. This area is spawn-proof, but still. So, like, my whole approach for this season of Truly Bedrock is... and I'm kind of testing it out. I'm really liking it, too, as far as content creation. Traditionally, making content creation, you're kind of like, hey everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, welcome to my show, here we are on the island, I think today I want to build such and such, okay? So let's go get some materials, and then you figure out a fun way of going to get materials, and then you come back and you're like, okay, watch me as I build, we're going to place some blocks, here's my idea, okay, you sit tight, I'll bring you back and I'm going to show you what I've built. And so it's kind of like this traditional Let's Play type mentality where you're watching me play a game, that kind of deal. And so with Truly Bedrock, when I got invited, there's a lot of people here that like to do story type stuff. Did I grab dirt? Nope. Running my mouth and not getting the dirt. So let's go back and get some dirt. But on Truly Bedrock, there's a lot of people that like to do role play and story type stuff. And so I was like, I've always wanted to experiment with that. This would be the perfect place to try this out. Just to kind of... Wait, is there some wood there? No. I was going to take some down there with me to make some chests. We'll just take these. But yeah, with it being more story-driven, role-play type stuff, I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to do that kind of a series. Let's do that here. And so with Season 2, I just had a chance to do the 3 episodes before the season was over with. But I really enjoyed the style of it. And so what I've done here is I've come up with a story for this season. And we're just going with that story. And so basically what I'm doing is, instead of... there's... Piggy, you got torches, buddy. What are you doing? So let's see here. I think this will allow me enough space to grow an acacia. We're just going to give it a shot and see what happens. Neon Traveler, welcome. You're here to support a famous piggy. I don't know about famous. Maybe infamous. But I don't know about famous. I mean, I'll go with it. If in your book I'm famous, that's cool. Welcome to the stream, Neon. But yeah, it just... this whole approach to making content that's more based on a story. So what ends up happening is, instead of building structures on camera and whatnot, everything is viewed in my mind as a set piece. So whenever I have a certain part of a story I'm trying to tell, I need to go build that set piece. And so instead of focusing episodes on a let's play, it's how did I say it? I said it the other night, and it was like the perfect explanation. Yeah, having a story, give a bit of reason for what you're doing instead of just building the same thing over and over again. Exactly. Now, I've always tried to have like story elements, but it's always been like, let's say I'm building some structure, and it's a hut, and this hut is next to the water, and there's a dock, and an old fisherman might live there. So in my mind, I come up with all these ideas of like the life of the fisherman, maybe a little bit of history, and that helps me decide some of the builds. Wait, unfortunately, started up tonight as I'm heading to bed, so I'm off to go to sleep. Have fun with the stream, and good to talk again, however briefly. Well, final, just before you run, so I plan on trying to stream a lot more, and there is a game that you bought for me a while ago that I've still yet to play, and I told you I would stream it. So you just let me know what times you're available, about how long that game takes, and maybe we can work something out. All right, buddy? You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, I would have story elements or ideas that would drive. We'll talk. Awesome. So I would have story beats or ideas that would drive the logic behind the build. So I would try to incorporate that. I've done that for years. That just, if anything, it helps me figure out better details with what I'm trying to build. But really what I wanted to experiment with was, instead of a let's play, it's like a let's tell. I think that's how I said it. Or I said, instead of a let's show, it's a let's tell. Because usually what's happening is, it's, here, watch me, I'm going to show you what I'm building. And instead it's like, look, here's a story that I'm trying to tell you. It's a very different approach with everything. Planning episodes, planning builds, all kinds of stuff. B Silver B, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh my gosh, the bots are out in force. So, yes, I'm still a little new to the whole Twitch streaming thing. Used to stream a long time ago, so I got some ideas as far as like streaming stuffs, but just the modern era of streaming, still kind of out of the loop, and have had some great people helping me get up to speed. But one question, because I'm still trying to learn about these whole bot things. You hope to see more Pigglesworth streams? This is exciting. Awesome. I'm glad you're hyped to be here. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't really have an idea for what kind of schedule I want yet. At this moment, I'm just trying to get myself to meet the requirements to get affiliated with Twitch. And then the streaming might slow down just a little bit, because you stay over there, Witch. Just the amount of streaming, like some people do like 3-4 times a week, and to me that's almost too much. I'm so introverted, I need a little alone time. Plus I'm doing Minecraft episodes at least once a week, trying to for AlphaCraft and Truly Bedrock, but I don't know if I'll be able to keep up that pace. Pardon me. But I hope to try to stream at least once a week. To me, that seems like a fair pace to start out with, to see if that's something that I can maintain. Because the one thing I don't want to do is, I don't want to start something and then kind of flake out on it, if that makes sense. It's probably a better way of saying that. But you creeper, you jerk. See? What? I was going to mine that, thank you very much. I guess I was high up enough. Didn't actually bother me. Makes complete sense. Awesome. Makes perfect sense. Awesome. Some people are crazy with how much they stream. Yeah, Hagcraft. But, you know, to each their own. Some people, that's what they love to do. There's actually some people don't even bother making videos anymore. That's just what they do is streaming, which is fine. You know, however people want to do it. Once a week each sounds reasonable for part-time. The creeper wanted to help me out. And I'm anticipating it might be, I really don't know. I'm still kicking it around. I want to be able to stream to where people can watch, and I know weeknights is going to be, especially like tonight. This is kind of late. I made some beef stew, which turned out amazing. It's like this Instapot beef stew recipe. But I forgot that it takes me like 30 minutes to do all of the prepping, because you have to chop carrots, potatoes, celery, the beef, and you have to prep it all, prep an onion, and then saute it all. Once you all get everything finally prepped and in the pot, it's another 35 minutes in the pot. And it sounds like not a lot of time, but I still haven't quite got the hang of it. It's like 35 minutes of cooking, but it takes X number of minutes for it to pressure up. So once it's to pressure, then it's 35 minutes. And then it's like another 5 minutes for it to unpressure. So you're looking at, you know, I don't know, maybe an hour. I would say it probably took me an hour to an hour and 15 minutes longer to make dinner than I anticipated. That's why I started so late tonight. Usually I try to start a little bit earlier. But DC's been doing it for a long time, and that works. Yes, exactly. And that's kind of what I was getting at is like, okay, here. Let me complete one thought, and then I'll jump back and forth. I'm usually pretty good at keeping the thoughts juggled in my mind, but sometimes I'm going to get a little lost, and then, especially as I get more tired in the evening, try to remember what in the world I was going to say. So, let's see here. I feel like there should be a light right there. I think so. So hopefully if I'm streaming on weeknights, it'll probably be an hour earlier than when I started tonight. And just do like maybe an hour stream. So it's not too much on me, and it's just enough, you know, kind of get a little off-camera work done like this, a little chance to hang out with some people. But I'm also thinking maybe it would be better to try and do something on the weekends. Just, it grew. Awesome, it did grow. That's awesome. You cook 80% of your meals in a pressure cooker? That's interesting. Neon, if you're not already in my Discord, you might want to hop over to my Discord. I have a channel in there called Eat Like a Pig, where I post, where not just me, but all the viewers that are all the Discordians, whatever you would call it, people that are in Discord, can post different foods they make and stuff, and even potential recipes. If you're using an Instapot or Instant Pot, I never know which one to call it, but if you're using one of those, or even if that recipe is similar for what a pressure cooker would be, I'd be interested in knowing what some of those are. I'm always on the lookout for another good recipe. Let's see here. I'll dump that right there. But yeah, just maybe try to do streaming more towards the weekend, just so more people can be involved. You know, if I'm not going to stream very much, then it would make more sense that when I do, kind of maximize it for everyone. I know you can't get every time zone and every person. It's never going to happen. But try to not maximize, but optimize the chances of those who would like to participate being able to participate. So we're just going to kind of wing it for now. Play it by ear, see how it goes. I'm always open to suggestions. So just like with that other thing with the Discord, if you hop over there, really good group of people, really nice community. And just, you know, if you got ideas or suggestions, let me know. It'd be awesome. And I had that other train of thought floating there in my brain. Now I'm taking a second. Try it a couple of ways and see what's best and then make a plan. Yes, exactly. That's actually kind of my plan. It's mostly just I'm trying to make sure the audience understands that this might feel late, but this is probably not going to be the norm. Things are going to be in flux just a little bit. We'll kind of tweak it as we go. But yeah, I was saying, so like some people, for them, live streaming is where it's at for them. They love it. Some people, it's exclusively making video. Some people, it's a hybrid. years ago, it was a hybrid for me. And then I just kind of, life happened, basically is what it boiled down to. Needed time in real life to do other things. And so one of the two had to go. And I always personally want to lean more towards video content that can be watched on demand versus streaming content. And there's several reasons why I personally kind of lean in that direction. And kind of like what we said earlier with food and with art and music, this is more of a subjective thing. This is just, it's what works for me. And hey, Dog Miner, welcome back, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. But yeah, so for me, especially when I first started in YouTube, my whole premise and idea was I was watching a lot of different YouTubers. I had been playing Minecraft just as a game and ran into Mumbo Jumbo and then later Zoomovoid and was just watching them and realizing, wow, people will watch you play this game. That game's really fun. I've been playing it for a couple of years. But people will actually watch you playing it. And so I started kicking around the idea of what would it be like if I started a YouTube channel? What would that look like? Like for me, I have to visualize something in my mind. If I can see the image, it gives me a goal or a target to aim at. So I'm kind of, asking myself, if you were to stumble upon your channel, what would that channel look like? Did you see the... Oh, okay. You're talking to SF. But, just asking myself, what would it be? What would make your channel unique or different? And so one idea I had was, well, what would it be like to make a channel? Because my wife played Minecraft also. Like, what if both of us played Minecraft together? So I started looking up different channels that were geared more towards family stuff, more towards couples playing together, things like that. I kind of stumbled upon Corrales at that point. Because back in the day, Corrales used to actually play with his wife with Minecraft. So that gave me a few kind of starting points. What would it look like, a husband and wife playing Minecraft together? But the unfortunate thing was I kept running into some other patterns that kind of bugged me a little bit. Mirabelle Jade. Hey, Jade, welcome. How are you doing this evening? Fancy seeing you here. You miss Miss Piggy? That's hard to say. I miss Miss Piggy and Modded. Oh my gosh. I'll follow that train of thought in just a second, Dog Miner. That's a good conversation direction to go in here in just a second. So you're happy to see me at this. Awesome, yeah. And likewise, opposite, I need to see you put out some videos, ma'am. Ma'am. I'm doing the streaming, so now you have to do the videos, okay? Don't tell anybody, but you got to do the videos, okay? Oh my gosh. Oh geez. Yeah, and that's something I'll have to do later, Maribel. If I haven't already done it, kindly remind me. I need to go make sure that I'm subbed to all of the Truly Bedrock peoples on Twitch. I think I've managed to finally straighten out all the YouTube stuffs and all the Twitter. It is so much. You don't even know this old pig trying to keep up with all this modern technology and social media junks and whatnot. Oh my gosh. I ain't got time for all that. But I got to make time. You got to make time, piggy. It's the way of the world. But yeah, so the trend that I started noticing that was really disturbing me was people were making content for younger audiences. Lots of cussing and swearing, lots of, of course, here again, part of it's subjective. What's your moral compass and all that kind of stuff. But to me, my outlook was very stuff you don't want your kids watching. That's probably the best way to put it. Nothing adult per se, but just stuff that I'm like, I wouldn't let my son watch this. My son was pretty young at the time. And actually ran into a few channels where maybe it was a joke that just fell flat on me, but it was like spouses, the husband was being a jerk to the wife or, making fun of the fact she couldn't play the game very well. Just whatever it was, it just irked the heck out of me. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Jade? Oh, well, I don't know if she'd want that public knowledge or not. If it is, happy birthday. If it's not, someday this year, happy birthday. But it was just this alarming trend. I don't know if I just happened to run into the wrong channels all at once or whatever, but it just really bugged the heck out of me. And so that was kind of the impetus for me to realize, okay, this is what I want my channel to be. I want my channel to, one, be something that I would have no problem leaving my kid in front of watching if I wasn't in the room. Kind of reminding me of like old school cartoons when I was a kid. You know, my parents didn't have to sit in the living room and supervise. They knew that if I turned on a certain cartoon, everything was fine. There wasn't going to be any sketchy stuff going on. And then the other thing was I wanted to also I wanted to set some kind of an example or role model. One, because there would probably be children watching that were potentially from a broken home or a single parent home. And I wanted them to see an example of what it looked like for a married couple that got along, that lifted each other up instead of tore each other down, that supported each other. What a healthy relationship looked like. Wait, Jade, did Chaos stream to celebrate? Oh, okay. Okay, y'all are talking about something else. Okay, cool, no problem. I just want to make sure I was keeping up with chat. Y'all go on with your bad self. But yeah, it was kind of like that. So the original like intent and purpose was I'm going to make videos, and I'm going to make them kind of feel like, not necessarily like exactly like, but just have this background feel of like Saturday morning cartoons, something like that. So that was my mentality, and then I started doing video editing and realized that I really love to do video editing, and so kind of got the bug in that direction. And so for me, coming up with ideas for shows, filming them, all of the art style, the music, the editing, all the little bits that go into it, all those little artistic pieces that makes a show, at least in my mind or in my style. It was like I want to create something that will be there however many years from now that somebody would like to be able to watch it. Because that's one thing I very quickly learned about streaming. Streaming is a very different thing than video. Just like watching a movie is very different from reading a book. They're two completely different forms of expression. And so they each have their own strengths and weaknesses for what they are. So like a stream is awesome because, and I remember years ago, this is how I kind of got my dad to understand what streaming was when I was explaining it to him. Hi, Pig, you're streaming. Eagle, welcome. Long time no see. How are you doing this evening? I love you care about the married couple to make sure they're lifting each other up. That's so important. It's so good for the kids too. Yes, it really is. Wholehearted agreement. Yes. Or even a movie compared with live theater. They're similar in many ways. Oh, that's also a really good comparison. But yeah, the way I was explaining it to my dad was, and this will kind of give away my age a little bit, but I was like, Dad, so imagine, oh, there's Dadcraft. Hey, DC. How you doing, buddy? But I'm like, okay, so imagine I'm watching Mr. Rogers. Raise your hand if you even know who that is. If you don't, I highly suggest you go look him up. Pretty amazing person for his time. I'm like, Dad, imagine if I was watching Mr. Rogers Saturday morning, and I said something to him, and he responded to what I said. And at first, my dad's kind of like, that'd be kind of weird. That'd kind of be creepy, wouldn't it? And I'm like, well, okay, so get over the creepy. Imagine being able to interact with the person on the screen. Imagine a hero, a sports hero. Has kind of worked more for my dad because he's more of a sports guy. I'm like, imagine you're watching a football game and you start talking to the quarterback and the quarterback responds to you. How cool would that be? That you could actually communicate with them back and forth, back and forth. And that kind of clicked with him. And I'm just like, that's the amazing thing about a stream is this interactivity, live interactivity with this person that you're watching, whether it be for entertainment purposes or maybe even educational. There's so many applications of streaming. It's ridiculous. And that's the strength that comes with live streaming. That live feel it's happening right now. You can interact with the person. I mean, okay, so here's another one. Raise your hands. Let's see here. Even my 9-year-old's seen Mr. Rogers. That's awesome. Keep up that tradition. That is awesome. Oh, so many hands went up. Awesome. You all know who Mr. Rogers is. Have fun getting the littles to bed. Doing great. I just received a notification. Twitch. Wanted to stop, say hi. Well, thank you so much, Eagle. If you stop back by this evening, awesome. If you don't, well, I hope you have a great evening. Thank you so much for taking a moment out of your day to stop by and say hey. But yeah, it was that idea of I want to create a show. I want to create something that I hear you sneaking up on me. I want to create something that that tells a story, that explains something, that unfolds an idea, and that also, once I've made it, it's there forever, or as long until YouTube breaks. But that video, I download all my videos and save them in an archive, so I just upload them elsewhere. But I've put in the effort to make this show, but I only had to do it once, and now it's there forever, or for as long as whatever. But multiple people can watch it at their own pace and their own time. To me, that's what the strength of video is. With a live stream, you got to catch it when it's happening, or it loses a little bit of its charm. Oh, my inventory's full. You can Marco Zeta, welcome to the stream. Zloy could pop in here at any second and drop off a zombie mailman. Many applications. Yeah, I got to be careful. Got to lurk and help the middle troll get ready for first day of school. Awesome. Hopefully the child is not nervous. Hopefully you as a mom are not nervous. I know that can be pretty nerve-wracking. But yeah, just having that, I put in the effort one time to create it the way I wanted it to be. It's there forever for anyone to watch at their own pace when they want. That to me is the strength when it comes to making a video versus streaming. So I always try to make whatever I'm streaming be more like mundane playing when I'm doing like this. Just kind of doesn't really amount to much as far as the gameplay. It's stuff that I got to do anyway, if that makes sense. And it because it's not a lot of mental cycles I'm having to dedicate to what I'm doing on screen, I can focus more on just talking and interacting with the audience. I'm one of these people, if I can get myself going, I can kind of free flow talk for however long until I get hoarse. It can be crazy. Sometimes I look up and I realize what time it is. I'm like, oh, no wonder my throat hurts. I've only been talking for several hours straight and not stopped. So sometimes get a little philosophical, sometimes get a little bit silly, just depending on what my mood is for the evening. So let's see here. Stick, we can keep that. We can keep the bone meal. That'll help us grow some of these trees. So what was the second hands up question you were going to ask? My hand's ready to go up. Oh, you hadn't noticed that I could talk on and on at all? Well, stick around a few more minutes and let me enlighten you. I honestly don't remember what the other hand up was for. Here we go. Everybody, if you had that other hand ready to go ahead and raise it now. Get that other hand up. Okay? And if you've come this far, if both hands are in the air, okay, now what I want you to do is, while you say, whoa, lean to the left, whoa, now lean to the right, whoa. And now anybody walking into the room right now thinks you're pretending like you're riding a roller coaster, and maybe there's just something a little wrong with you. Or maybe you're just enjoying living life. Yeah, that's what it is. Uh-oh, Super Fishy did it. I hope you're not listening on earbuds. I hope somebody else, if they saw you do that, at least heard what was going on, because that would look a little peculiar. Let's see. Okay, so that one will grow there. Maybe I just need to offset this one by one. Let's see. How is this? This is right next to it and over by one. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, and forward one. So let's look. Oh, that one. That's probably what it is. Say 1, 2, 3, forward. No, it's got room. Huh. Listening on headphones, but no one came by. Okay. I just don't want you here. I'm going to be selfish. I don't want you to miss out on the stream because you're having to stop and explain to those around you what you were doing. Yeah, that's what it is. It sounds good anyway, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't really remember what the other... It's not coming to me. Usually it does. Usually if I think about something else for a moment and then kind of come back to it, it boots up in my mind, but it's just not working. Tell you what we do need to do. We need to do another swap. Good cover story, yeah. Underground Tree Farm. Hey, Skater Dad, welcome to the stream. No, all I'm doing is, since I'm down here, I just got these guys growing down here for me, so I can collect the saplings and whatnot. But I am clearing out this area. Oh, there's stuff down there I need to pick up, so we don't leave it. No, I am gathering up tons of blocks. I don't think Zloy is watching right now, so I think everything's safe. No block can be left behind. We got to get up here and get this. Let's see. And it seems like some people in chat know Skater Dad. Awesome. But yeah, I am. Let's see. I think I got feather falling boots. I'm fine jumping down. In one of my episodes, I am working on something that has to do with Zloy's store. He has got his little money system going on here, the dumb system. It's quite dumb, and I need to straighten him out. So that's what we're trying to do, is gather up enough materials. Let's see, let's go and swap. We'll get the pickaxe so that any XP that we happen to pull out, we can go ahead and heal. And we're going to make a run. He is willing to swap blocks for dumb right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. And so what we need to do, I have future plans for this area that I'll probably use it for. So it's not like digging is totally in vain. Let's see here. We'll dump that. Oh, all that granite's full. Okay. We'll just dump this. I mean, I still got room in my inventory, but some of this stuff I just don't want to haul off with me. Let's get rid of this. Just in case something bad happens. We don't want to have all of our good stuff with us. Sussex Driver, Morning Piggy in chat, welcome. Was in line with difference of voice and streeting like Mr. Rogers or quarterback interaction. Yeah, I was trying to let my brain go back in that direction. It's just for whatever reason, my mind's not going there. I think it was more just a roundabout way of pointing out the differences between streaming and video. Oh, maybe we need to take a little break. There we go. But given the choice of the two, I lean more towards video. I'd done streaming for some years and then just kind of got away from it because of life. And I could only choose one or the other. Yeah, me too. And so I was like, okay, if I can only dedicate time to doing something, I'll do video. I'll get around to streaming Sunday. And apparently Sunday has arrived. So that's where we are. So there we are back at, oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. I was about to get in that boat. I am so used to not having this portal. But now I have the portal. So we can do this so much quicker. And since we're here, because I did say this might be a good stream project, would be working on this tunnel. Let's stop for just a second and kind of look and see. So we would need nether bricks. Whatever this block is. These newer blocks, I've yet to learn what they are. Let's do this. One of the straightaways. Okay, so we need nether brick, nether fence, one of the new block fence types. I don't know how to make this block. I'm suspecting it has to do with the, not the grindstone. What's the saw blade thing? You can put blocks in it and like make, and chains. Most of it's brick. And then this looks like blackstone. But I think the floor's already been done, so we might be okay. Is it all? That sound is so crazy. That is so... Stone cutter, yes, thank you. Exactly. Okay, so it looks like right here, some of this... I just want to know, what block is that? Deep slate tiles, okay. We'll put that back. And let's see. I don't think my portal's too far. It's... Oh, man, it feels like it's a little further. Okay, it's right here. Yeah, I wouldn't need too much. I mean, we could probably get that done maybe like 2 streams. 1 stream gathering materials. Ooh, is there somebody right here? What's this? There's all kinds of stuff. This is me rabbit trailing. Look, this is what it looks like. Okay, that goes to one of the straight tunnels. This must have been like some kind of navigation. Oh, there's something here too? Or is that straight? Oh, okay. So this must have been like early when the server was in its early days, when they just set up tunnels just to kind of like navigate and get around. That's probably what that is. Squirrels. Exactly. Story of my life. Come on, you generate that terrain. So yeah, we're working on just gathering up materials, digging out a hole in the ground, because that's probably the quickest and easiest way to gather up materials and get swimming, Piggy. Go over here and exchange it. Early exploration, exactly. Exchange it for more dumb. Now, here's the thing. And for those of y'all watching, if you watch my videos, I haven't revealed this in video yet, so a little behind the scenes. Let's see. First, make it Truly Bedrock. Pardon me. Yeah, this is my fault. Was working on my episode 1 and I didn't realize this was mushroom and I broke the block there. So I put granite as a placeholder and told Zloy, I'm sorry, I broke the block. You'll need to replace it with a mushroom block. And I went ahead and planted the piece of mushroom that I got, and it has since started to spread. So it's kind of my fault. Okay, there's nothing in there. Just making sure. So here's the thing. His explanation of how dumb works, there's 423 dumb overall. I suspect there's more. But we're trying to see if we can at least gather up the initial 423 dumb to, oh, that kind of rhymed. To thwart his economy that he's trying to build. Because in a little while, I have my own idea for an economy. We're going to try and see if we can get going and competing with him. I mean, Zloy just loves to troll people. I love to troll people. Zloy invited me to Truly Bedrock because he wanted someone to troll him, right? Is that why? Hey, Piggy in chat. Hey, welcome back, CJ. Welcome back. CJ, was it you that was leaving me info in Discord about music stuffs? I believe it was. Straighten me out if I'm wrong, but I think that's who was leaving me all that great info. It's kind of, if it is, I'll go ahead and ask it. I was kind of curious to, if you didn't mind sharing. If you do, no pressure at all. I know how internets be. We need to keep stuff private and safe sometimes. But if you felt like sharing, what was it about the music industry or music in general, as far as being a performer and stuff, that you were involved in? Like, have you been in a band for years, or are you more production side, or just as a hobby? Here we go. Okay, so it's 2 stacks per dumb. That's what it is. Ooh, trolling, kind of high on your list. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was you? Okay, awesome. Let's see here. So, one of those for 2 stacks. One of those for 2 stacks. So give me just a second. What I don't want to do is I don't want to accidentally take more dumb, because I don't want. We want to do this fair. I don't want to actually steal from him, but I do want to properly put him in his place. Let's see here, andesite. Okay, here we go. Here's some 1, 1, 2, and hopefully while I'm doing this, CJ, if you are gonna type a response, this will give you a few seconds to do that, and then I can look down and read it. So let's see here. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, I don't know if I have any more andesite. I don't see any. Okay. Go and grab this. What I've been trying to do is cycle it, like as I end up with, oh, okay, there's 2 stacks there. Okay, awesome. So we can do that. Just trying to cycle it, whereas I run out of the stacks that we can exchange, move it all into one shulker, and so that way, when all the shulkers are empty, I know I'm good to go. So there. Okay, so there we go. And I kid you not, every run that I make with these shulker boxes, I'm pulling out almost like 2 stacks of dumb every time. So I don't know, like my goal was to try and see how much I could get accomplished in a week of doing this. I don't think I'm going to get as much dumb as I would have liked, but I think I'm going to get a whole lot more than seemed realistic at the time. Of course, the other problem is, as we start to saturate some of these different sales, we're going to have to go on the lookout for other stuff. I would like to get all the dumb in this store, but I don't know how realistic that is. Let's see here. A bunch of this. Okay, so it's 1 dumb for 16. Oh, he typed a book. Like this. Give me just a second, and I will stop and read that. And the thing I hate about this setup, you never know. I actually got snuck upon by a zombie doing this. I would be terrified if a creeper made its way in here. That would be horrible. There's nothing worse than being on a public server and having a creeper blow up on you while you're admiring somebody else's handiwork. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And we'll go ahead and dump that in there. I think all that's left is stone and the cobbled blackstone. Okay. So I'm going to swap this in my inventory here real quick. Then we'll kind of go back in the other back area of this where it's a little safe. And then I'm going to look over at chat and see what CJ wrote real quick. Let's see, grab that. Okay, we'll hop over here. This is mainly so creeper can't see me if it is wandering, and maybe we can run. So, okay, so I'm a new musician specialist, composer, violinist, spent most of my life working with folks bringing new things to life, especially avant-garde stuff. Freelancing right now. So current gigs include a 9/11 concert, subbing with a string quartet, my own duo, some dance collab, a commission with the New York City-based ensemble, and all sorts of stuff. Also teach private lessons. Awesome. So I have played music for years myself. I started out in junior high actually playing the flute. That's a long story. I'll tell another day. Because that's a whole long story in and of itself that will run what I'm trying to get at with the rest of this. Where is there's the stone. But played the flute for 2 years in junior high. And then when I got into high school, didn't bother going into band in high school. Instead went the different route and started playing guitar in a band. Started writing my own music. Later learned to play the bass. Dabbled a little bit with singing. Like, I do some singing. I don't feel like my voice is anywhere near as good as other people, but I guess it's comparable enough that some people enjoy it. So, if they enjoy it, hey, we'll go with it. Why not? And over the years have kind of fallen out of touch with that a little bit, but learned to read music. I can write songs, play bass, play guitar, kind of dabble in piano a little bit. Flute stories, I'll have to ask about that next time. Yeah, you do that. You hold me to it. Next time, if for some weird reason I'm not talking about anything, which is probably not going to happen, But you can always bring it up, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to tell that story. I will definitely tell that story. But found out over the years that I'm the kind of like I always say, there are two kinds of people in the world: those that were born to play and those that learn to play. So there are people that they just kind of know how to play music, like it's just in their blood. It makes sense to them. And then there are those. I want to make sure. Is it 2? Okay, it is 2. I didn't want to mess it up. But then there are other people who they can play music, but it's because they had to learn how. And there's nothing wrong with either. It's some people are born with brown eyes, some are born with blue. No fault of your own. It's just that's the way it is. I need to put one back because I don't have 2 stacks. But over the years, kind of started to figure out. Look at this. We almost got 3 stacks of dumb out of that. That is crazy. Eccentric. We love your voice, Piggy. Singing all those. Oh my gosh. Now you want to talk about going way back. How are you doing, buddy? I hope you are well. Are you still on full stack? I hopped over on that Discord channel about a month ago just to see what was going on, but I didn't really stop to see like if all the names I recognized were still there. I hope life is treating you well, sir. Let's see. I just want to make sure we don't. Gosh, I tell you what, I love these builds, but some people around here just leave little dark spots, and I'm so terrified of running their builds with a creeper. It's not even funny. Let's see. We'll put that down. And which one had the dumb in it? Was it that one? I think so. Okay, there we go. Look at this. This is how much dumb we've collected so far. I've almost got a shulker of dumb. It's ridiculous. You know what that means? We got to go back over the base and dig some more. We got to fill that wallet up, I tell you. Hey, we all have vocal cords, so regardless of whether we were born to or learned to, it's part of human nature, even if some folks don't want to admit it. And I didn't really mean as far as singing, I just meant like music in general. But you're right about the voice. But just music in general. There are people that are born to play music, and there are people that learn to play music. And ever the tween shall meet. And just over the years, I kind of discovered I was more on the born to play music side. Everything I do in music, I understand chords and notes. I understand keys, all those kind of things. I never use it. Everything I do is by ear. And over the years of playing guitar, I actually got like this weird sense of intuition where when I hear a song, I can kind of figure out how to play the song. But there's some people, let me get where I'm safe so I can focus on how I explain this. So there are some people that, Light Jen. Hi, Jen. Where are y'all seeing Jen? Oh, hey, Light Jen. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry. I didn't see your name up there. Been playing guitar for 20 years, but can't read music, save your life. And just as a side note, I did want to point out, in case anybody, because I looked back in my Twitch history and noticed the other night when I was streaming, a bunch of people had followed or subbed, whatever you call it on Twitch, I don't know. But I don't have that announcement set up quite yet, so I apologize that if you have subbed to the channel and I didn't announce your name, I really apologize for that, but thank you so much for following if you did. There are those of us who only listen and enjoy. But yeah, I kind of got to the point where I can listen to a song, pick up a guitar, within a few seconds figure out what the chord is that's being played, and almost by intuition just kind of feel what the next chord is going to be and follow along with the song. It's very quick how I can pick it up. There are, and granted, I'm talking more like stuff like Tom Petty or Foo Fighters or things of that nature. There are certain styles of music I can't do that with. Especially like you start getting into jazz and stuff. Jazz is so... Oh, gosh. Okay, that was just a... Wait. Oh, just you were asking how long I've been streaming. Okay. you pick up keys really well then? Yeah, if I can find them, you know, especially if I'm late for work. It'd be really nice if I found my keys fast. I picked them up. I mean, I guess I pick up keys fast. See, I don't even think in sense of keys, which is crazy. But yeah, really. It's more just an intuitive feel of what the next note should be. And by listening to the chord that's being played and the structure of that chord, I guess my ear hears certain notes and says, okay, this is a minor, or this is a major, something like that. But I never listen and go like, oh, A flat major, I know this chord. I know of A flat major as a key, but it would take me 10 minutes to go remind myself what is a major key versus a minor key as far as the intervals between notes, because so you use Roman numerals to represent notes in a scale. Scale is 7 notes, 7 unique notes, 8 notes in total. We're going to talk about just basic standard theory, okay? So to be 7 notes, it's 8 in total, 1 and 8 being the octave. And an octave, for those of y'all that don't know, it means it is the same note but one pitch higher. So it would be like, wait. It's like I can't hear any notes in my head right this second. So, that's the same note, but it's one octave different. So a full scale would be 8 notes in succession. And the way that you can tell if a scale is major or minor on paper, there we go. I was like, no, get on the hotbar there. It's like I need some emergency blocks there. The way that you can tell by looking at it on paper if a scale is major or minor is the interval or the distance between adjacent notes. I know that's all like big words. But so like let's see here. Music theory with Piggy. Yeah. This is how a rabbit trail, people. Welcome to the Piggy stream. So we're just going to go with the C major scale, which is the easiest scale because everything's natural, meaning there's no sharps, there's no flats. It's just whatever you say the note is, it's that note. Okay, so C, D, E, F, G. We ran out of andesite. A, B. That would be the C scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay. Now, if you look, trying to think of a quick, easy way of explaining this. All the white keys on the piano, exactly. That's like the easiest way to do it. So you have some notes that can be flat and can be sharp. And you have some that you can technically make them flat or sharp, but they actually become a different note, so to say. It's kind of interesting the way it goes. So let's see here. We're going to use different blocks here to do this. If I have enough. I might have enough. I should have enough for at least a simple example. Raise your hand if you find this interesting. Because sometimes I like to just babble on, but sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, does anybody even like what's going on here? So, B flat or A sharp? Exactly, Zerk. Actually, let me see. A sharp and B flat are the exact same note. Oh, I know CJ is going to like it. CJ definitely be interested in music theory. It's kind of your bread and butter there. So you'd have C, okay, C sharp, because it's, CJ are going to have to correct me. That would be a step, correct? C to C sharp is called one step, or is that half a step? I get those mixed up sometimes. But we go C to C sharp. Okay, we're only going to do sharps right now. So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, E sharp. Now we've run into a problem. Half step or semitone. Okay, thank you. So this is where we've run into a problem. Now, this probably would make more sense if I was writing it where you could see it. Okay, so C, C sharp, D, when we're going up the scale, it's sharp. When you go down the scale, it's flat. So C up the scale to C sharp, up the scale to D. But if we're at D and we go down the scale, D flat. See how that works? Okay. Don't mind me as my eyes glaze over. Now, I don't mean like if you're playing up a scale, you would call them sharps, and playing down a scale, you would call them flats. That's not how that works. This is talking about how you would build a scale of notes to play. So if we were doing our intervals in that direction, you would use sharps. So C, D, E. E sharp is actually the note F. This is where it all gets really confusing. And it's one of these things that you almost have to mess with it in your mind for like a week or two. And then one day it just kind of makes sense. It's really weird. Circle of fifths, yes. No, not next up. I never learned the circle of fifths. I probably need to, if anything, just to understand things better. But yes, if this is interesting to you, after this, your homework is to go look up circle of fifths, okay? But from E to F is half a step. So E sharp sounds exactly the same as the note F, okay? And the note F flat sounds exactly the same as the note E. And I think we have that twice. I think there are 2 notes in all the notes available that do that, where the half step up goes to the next natural. So the reason why you have these weird instances where E sharp is actually the same sound as F, you're like, well, why not just call it F? Why not go from E sharp to F? That's where the intervals come in. And it's so crazy. Once you start learning all this stuff, what's so interesting about it is you start realizing how much math, like if you're a math person, if you enjoy numbers, the ridiculous level of math that exists in music. It's insane. One thing, I heard this guy tell me this when I was young. He said, if somebody would focus on science, math, and art, I feel like they could unlock the secrets of the universe. And, oh, there we go. For anyone interested, go look at CJ. He typed some really great stuff in there. Circle of fifths can get you in the rabbit trail to microtonality, where C sharp is now higher than D flat, just to mess with your mind. Yeah, I've never even messed with microtonal. I found out it even existed, and I'm like, if I ever get interested in playing that kind of music, maybe I'll look at it. But yeah, I mean, when you start learning about like the math behind music, and then you start realizing how intricately woven our reality is, where things, like when you're taught in school, you go to one classroom for math, you go to one classroom for reading, you go to one classroom for art, you go to one classroom for PE. And so you're raised with this mentality of a compartmentalized reality where all these subjects are in their own places. But when you start studying these things, like what I'm talking about with math and music, you start realizing there are threads that run through all of these things and tie them together. And they're enigmas and puzzles, and there's all kinds of just layers upon layers that could keep you interested for the rest of your life of how things tie together. It's crazy. It'll blow your mind if you really sat down and thought about it for a while. But anyway, so the ear, at least what they call Western music, there's a lot of world music that does this. But what we're used to hearing are intervals or certain spaces between notes, okay? Now, this is where I'm going to get completely messed up, but it's represented as Roman numerals. You have capital Roman numerals, string theory. Yeah, there we go. A violin ties everything in the world together. It's all string theory. Oh my gosh. The thing that I love is it's literally impossible to stop learning. Yeah, I mean, if you keep yourself focused, you can learn new things for the rest of your life and never run out of new things to learn. Even without the internet. But the internet does help. But what our ears are used to hearing, now there's multiple different directions you can go with this, but for simplicity, you have a major key, and a minor key. The quickest and easiest way to explain this, and it's ridiculous because the government spent several $1,000,000 in the 90s to figure out why does a major key sound different than a minor key? And after all the money and all the work that they did, they came up with, well, because a minor key sounds sad. Which they could have just given me $1 million. I would have told them that in 5 seconds, but whatever. You know. That's pretty much the easiest way of explaining it. A major key sounds happy. A minor key sounds sad. On your own time, on your, like I said, your homework, go look all this stuff up. It's insane how major keys and minor keys actually work together, and you can tie them together. You can jump between the two in the same musical piece, and it audibly works because those notes fit. But basically, so the way we would do it is, so let's say this is C, D, E, and we said that there was a sharp or flat available between the two. Ooh, there's a Stina raid. Hey, Stina. Welcome. How are you doing? Welcome, all the raiders. I don't have anything special set up right now. I really apologize. But welcome all you raiders. We are talking music theory of all things right now. And I'm going to try real quickly to finish this thought before I forget it, and then we'll go back to what we were doing. So in a major key, you've got, we're going to say C major. You've got C to D to E, and we said you could go C sharp, D sharp to E. So this would be a capital Roman numeral 1, capital Roman numeral 2, capital Roman numeral 3, because there is a whole step between each note. You follow me so far? Okay. Yeah, you know what? I need to stop real quick. I need to say hi to all the raiders by name. Momcrafter, Kyberg, Aletha, welcome. Delta Omega Plays, SB Beer, I think that's how you say it. For Roadrunner, Momcrafter, Izzy's Potato, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you all stopping by. Thank you so much, Stina. I hope you had a good stream. I think that's what you were doing. And Kyberg, I know Kyberg. I hope you were having a good stream there, Stina. But see, we go C, D, E. And remember we said before that when you go from E to F, there's a half step between the two. E sharp is F. F flat is E. So we would put that right there. That's a half step to the next natural note, F. So it would be one step, or one interval, 2 intervals, to 3, half an interval. So it would be capital Roman numeral I. Here's the 4th note in the scale. You would draw it as a lowercase. It would be a lowercase IV, the 4th. Okay? And then from F to G, you can have an F sharp or a G flat. So now we have a whole step again. G to A is a whole step, and A to B is a whole step. And here's the other one. B to C is a half step. It was a good stream. You died muchly. Uh-oh. Oh, am I not affiliate yet? How close am I? That's actually what I'm working on right now, is trying to get affiliate. I need, what was it? 7 streams for a total of 8 hours within a month. All my streams so far have been over 3 people average, and I have over 50 followers. So what I'm going to try and do, let's see, what is it? I think, oh, there goes that stinking thunder again. I think I need 5 more streams, each an hour long, and I want to say this stream has been almost an hour and a half. So I'm definitely going to make my time. I just got to stay on the ball and get a few more streams under my belt, and then I'll be able to say, woohoo! I'm part of the cool club. So from B to C, B sharp is C, C flat is B. So you have that half step interval right there. That would be a natural scale. And this is where I'm going to get lost. But a minor scale has a different interval. I think it's like uppercase I, lowercase I, uppercase IV, something like that. And so that's how keys and scales. That's how chords are built. That's like the basic. Oh, get it? Get it? It's the basic building blocks of music. See what I did there? But that's the basics of music theory, and understanding all of that really helps you in the creative realm know directions you can go when you're writing. It in no way impedes you from playing music or understanding music as a performer. And so I know all that information. It's all there in my head. I mean, I just explained it, but I never use it. It's so weird. I understand it all, but there's no point in using it because when I play music, it's all by intuition. I don't know if it's like I've internalized that information and have kind of cross-referenced it with experiencing playing music, and so I kind of feel when I'm supposed to play a certain chord in a certain key or something like that. I really don't know how to explain it. But that's just my experience with music. But that was a really long way of saying to CJ, what, an hour ago now? when you first mentioned it, that over the years I've discovered I'm the kind of person that if you hand me an instrument and give me 30, 40 minutes, I will pretty much figure out how to play the instrument and at least be able to play a rudimentary song. And kind of the way that I figured this out was I had never played a brass instrument. Uh-oh. Wait. No. Did we get him? Okay, we got him. I'll come back to that later. Not while I'm talking. Oh, I'll be so distracted. I'll run all my diamonds. That would be terrible. But yeah, I kind of figured out by playing on the trombone that he had, oh my gosh, I can figure out how to play this instrument and played a simple song out of it. Yeah, close one, right? So over the years, I've discovered pretty much you put me with an instrument and enough time, and I'm going to figure it out. And then CJ said he plays violin, and that made me think. I think it was my cousin had been learning violin, and she had one. It was either like a starter violin or somebody had given it to her, but basically she sold it to us pretty cheap, like maybe $50, something like that. Viola, like a violin. Oh, you play viola? Okay. What's the difference? Is a viola slightly larger than a violin? It's like halfway between a violin and an upright, correct? Or a cello. I know some people, depending on if you're playing jazz, you call it like an upright. But I think a viola is like the halfway point from a violin to a cello. Yes, pronounced viola. Viola? Hey, Uncle Jimbo, welcome. I don't know if you just popped in or if you were there. Viola? Are you sure? I've always heard it called viola. Maybe it's just my southern accent kicking in and making me say things a little slightly different. Although it's not necessarily Texas. That's more like Georgia. Viola is a bit larger, still played under the chin. Put is 7 half steps lower than a violin and 1 octave above the cello. Oh, okay. Oh, you're a string player too, Uncle Jimbo? Awesome. Viola is how I've always said it, but my southern friends think I'm... Yeah, I guess I was going to say it more like Texas. You know, down here, the way we say it, you're going to play yourself a fiddle? You're going to play yourself a viola? Viola ain't the right way to say it. You're going to play a viola because it's spelled V-I-O-L-A. So you play a viola. String bass, yeah. Where's that stinking spider at? It must be in the walls or something. We don't need him biting our face off. See, I'm over here. Might as well... Oh, I need to dump all these... shulkers. One of those little lava pockets get me, and I'm going to lose everything that I've got that's good here. That. But yeah, I was going to say, we got a hold of a violin, and that is the only instrument to date that has been a serious challenge. Fixing to play a thing. Exactly. We talk... Lur1C21, I think that's your name. Yeah, we're talking music stuff right this minute. If you're going to play in Texas, you're going to need a fiddle. Exactly. Off to get lunch. See you later if you're streaming Super Fishy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have yourself a great rest of your day. There are pictures of him from high school concert days on our Discord. There are? I didn't know that. Learning to coordinate the fingering and the bow is a thing. Yeah. I was learning the violin, but my wife won't let me play it when she's in the house. That's funny. Oh my gosh. So it took me. So I understood the premise, the theory behind playing a violin. Like one thing I had heard was that surgeons actually, some surgeons will learn to play the violin because it's so sensitive of an instrument that they find it actually helps them with performing surgery. So I'd kind of known about that. So when I pick up this violin, the first thing I noticed, now I've got big old fat fingers. I guess I could say that in my Forrest Gump voice. I got big old fat fingers. Not fingers that go sideways. So there's a few things taller than the string bass he was. You hate how hot it's been lately here in Texas. I tell you what, Skater Dad, this year has been so nice compared to, say, the last 10 years. Although we have gotten a ridiculous amount of rain this year, it's crazy. The violin is a challenge, but a lot of folks sell themselves short. I've had students on the spectrum get college scholarships for playing. That's nice. Awesome. I am in East Texas, sir, or ma'am. You do or do not have to reveal where you are. Got to be safe on the internet and stuff. But Texas is a very large state. But yeah, so finding out that that premise for the violin, but then I got these big old fingers and I pick up the violin and I'm just like, how in the world do you get your fingers to not knock all the other strings around it? This is ridiculous. And so the other thing that threw me is I'm a guitarist, so I'm used to there being frets. Which, for those of y'all that don't know, a fret on a guitar is, you look at the neck, which is the part the strings go on, okay? You've got the body of the guitar here, which is where you strum. You've got the bridge, which is right here where the strings are tied to, and then they go up the neck to the tuning pegs, okay? And on the neck, you've got these lines. If you look real close, like if you've seen them from far away, they just look like lines. But if you get up to them, you see that it's actually strips of metal that are smoothed. They're kind of rounded on top, but they've been hammered into slots in the neck. And those create separation points on the neck where if you push down between two frets, you're going to get a certain note. And the fret, like pretend like this space on this block, there's a fret here and a fret here. I can put my finger here. I can put my finger here. Pretty much I'm going to play the same note. If you really got specific with some technology, you could find there's probably going to be a slight tonal difference, whether it be sound quality or maybe a sharp flat variant between the two frets, but you're pretty much playing that note, okay? So, but the thing is, when you play a fretless bass, when you play a upright bass or a cello or violin or a viola, there's no frets on those things. So the first thing I'm sitting there going is, there's no frets. How do I know which note I'm playing? How do I know where? And I slowly started to realize people use muscle memory to figure out positions on the neck of a violin. That blew my mind. Because especially when you know that piece of information, and then you watch people like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not concerto, but like concert level violinists playing, say, something like Flight of the Bumblebee. Just super fast like that. Yeah. All that's muscle memory. There's no markings on that instrument. Now, there are some starter violins, if I'm not mistaken, that have like little circles where your eyes can look and see that kind of help you learn positions. But generally, they're playing muscle memory. CJ, you correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that, but that's what I've come to learn is they're playing this stuff by muscle memory, which is just crazy, mind-blowing, the level of talent it takes to be able to do that. And then on top of that, like Eccentric was saying, so you've got two things going on. You've got the finger position you're trying to coordinate, which if you're a guitarist, it's no big deal. You're already used to one hand fretting a note and the other hand strumming or doing some kind of motion to create the sound for the note. Okay, so that coordination you learn pretty quick as a guitarist, so that's no big deal. It gets even worse when we start retuning our instruments. Oh my gosh, I bet. Then the note that we see on the page isn't where we are, and it's hard. Yeah, then you have to like live transpose what you see. That could be crazy. You play ukulele, eventually going to try and Cree to I don't know what that means, to a guitar now that I know the basics. I've never really learned ukulele, but I will say that if you've learned a ukulele, a lot of the fundamentals are very similar to a guitar. You're used to dealing with strings, you're used to dealing with a neck, frets, positions, and strumming. So you've got all that down. Then you just have to, I'm pretty sure the strings on a guitar are going to hurt more, especially if it's an acoustic. They're going to hurt a lot more than a ukulele. And if I'm not mistaken, ukulele's 4 strings. So if you went to a bass guitar, 4 strings, there you go. But if you're doing like a regular guitar, yeah, you're gonna have to keep up with 2 more strings. You get into like come on, I guess there's nothing to place against there. You get into a thing called oh gosh, my brain's going blank. I think it's bridge chords, bridging. Basically, you're using one finger to hold down like 5-6 strings at a time. There's a degree of muscle memory, but at the end of the day, I'm adjusting all the time to my ear and listening to everything I play in addition to thinking of what's coming next. But yes, something as fast as Bumblebee is a lot of muscle memory. The larger one, ukulele can have 6 strings. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm not at all musically inclined, but I did learn to play a few things on the ukulele. It's so much fun. Yeah, and that's the thing. We as humans have a tendency to want to compare ourselves to those that we admire or look up to. And so sometimes maybe your ability is just maybe you're not musically inclined, but you learn to play an instrument. You learn to play a few notes or something. And so what you have to do in life is not let the fact that you're not playing to the level of someone you admire stop you from being able to play at the level you're capable of. Because at the end of the day, and I'll tell you this from experience, just being a musician, yes, you're going to run into egotistical jerks. Those are everywhere. So we're going to set that factor aside. But in general, musician's a musician is a musician, regardless of the proficiency level they're at. You can only play 3 notes. I can play 1,000. But I find out you can only play 3. All right, maybe I just pick a song that only has 3 notes in it because I'm more interested in playing that music with you than I am trying to outperform you. Like I said, yes, there are those ego people. So we're not gonna worry about them in this little discussion. That's for a different day. But the whole letting yourself, you only know 3 notes, but you play those 3 notes with all you got. There is something so satisfying in life about playing music. To me, it's the same as like cooking food. I know some people view this very different. In my younger days, I probably would have viewed it different because I'd be so dang tired. It's like, I don't want to cook nothing. But in my later years, I have discovered that cooking food can be viewed almost identical to being artistic. It's another form of expression. And so finding ways to express yourself artistically, even if you're just barely decent at it, you're just barely capable, don't ever let that stop you. Grab onto that joy in life and experience it and share it with others around you, because life is short and fleeting. It passes by so much quicker than you'll ever realize until you get closer to the end of it. And enjoying those moments, that's the whole point in living. Same with Minecraft. It does not matter if you play different than someone else or not. Exactly. I'll be honest with you, of all the years that I've been alive, I've found there are very, very few things in life that you need to worry about. Am I better than somebody else? It just boils down to, it's just not that important at the end of the day, being better than other people. So let's see. I'm going to stop for just a minute and look and see what chat says. So I'm going to get safe in here just so we don't get bombed or anything. Let's see here. You wish you had the time to develop the calluses. Yeah, that does take a little while. That is a pretty painful part. But once you can get past that, 12-string guitar with bridge chords can be a challenge, especially without a pick. Yeah, I've never owned a 12-string. I've played them in guitar stores. I love the sound of them. But I can never stomach the price of buying one for what I would need it for, which would usually be like an overdub recording a song. I would never play a 12-string as like a standard instrument. But the times I have played it, I had played an acoustic long enough that my fingers were strong enough that I actually could play bridge chords on it. But it wasn't easy. And especially with all those strings so close together, my gosh, you feel like you're going to get all hung up on the strings around it. Agreed, style, proficiency, etc. doesn't really matter. It's not a competition, it's a collaboration. Basic ukes have two tunings as well, low G and high G traditional. You recently swapped to low and love it. Awesome. I'm sending you a sub to another channel. She goes tomorrow morning. See you there. Okay. That's soprano, concert, and tenor, smallest to largest. Baritone is tuned differently. Yeah, and that was one thing that blew my mind when I was learning more about instruments when I was younger, is that instruments themselves have a certain key that they're in. I have never fully understood that. That I don't understand, like, the quickest and easy way of explaining it, okay? A piano, a flute, a guitar, they're all in the same key. So if I look at a piece of sheet music and I see what is generally referred to as the note C, C major, or C natural, not C major, C natural. If I hand that piece of sheet music to a trumpet player and I say, see that note? On the count of 3, let's play the same note. But I must go away, so glad. Oh, well, thanks, Kyberg. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much. If me and the trumpet player both play, if I don't tell them, I'm not going to say, hey, play a C. Instead, I hand them a piece of sheet music and say, on the count of 3, play that note. We're going to play 2 completely different sounding notes. Because trumpet players see their notes in a completely different way than a guitar player plays. And it's weird. I've never fully understood the music theory behind that. But yeah, so it's like, okay, so say you forgot your sheet music when you're coming in and you're in a concert with 50 other instrumentalists. And you're all, violins and clarinets and oboes and all this stuff. You can't just reach over and borrow their music if you're in a different key or different part. It's not going to work. That is so crazy. Let's see here. Oh, pardon me. Let's scroll up a little bit just so I can see it. I really like to retune ukulele as a high G becomes a G sharp, D, E flat, A because I like weirdness. That can be really fun to tune your instruments to a different tuning, just to force yourself to become creative again. It's like starting all over again sometimes. 3 notes can be swapped around in numerous combinations. Knowing small things is still knowing a lot. Yes. If you are a keyboard player, glad you're enjoying it. It's way easier than therapy. Cheaper, I mean. Yeah. Oh my gosh. In my early days, in my teenage days, I dealt with a lot of depression and suicide, and having a guitar to just play on my own with no one around was like night and day for my emotions. It was crazy. Found a Takamine 12 string that was easy to barcode, so I bought it. Well, go for it, dude. Why was it easy to barcode? Was it that the action was different on it or something? Would you give the same advice when it comes to singing? If so, you should hear my singing voice. It can hurt people. Singing's slightly different, okay? And I'll tell you why. If I hand you a guitar, or if I hand you, of course I can't hand you a piano unless it's like one of those little Casio keyboards that you could carry around in your hand. But if I gave you an instrument to play, most instruments, not all, there are some where this will still fall into the same category, but most instruments, they're going to force you to play it in key correctly. So if I gave you a guitar and told you to put your finger on the first string, first fret, press down and strum, you're going to play the letter F, or the note F, whether you like it or not. Now, it might buzz, it might not sound perfectly clear, but it's still going to be the note F. When you're singing, everything, your voice, the human voice is a lot like the violin, or vice versa. The violin is a lot like the human voice, in that most people have said the violin is the instrument that can most closely replicate the human voice. Not exactly, but it gets very close. In the fact that in your voice, you have almost an infinite range of pitch alteration you can do. So if I said play the first note, first fret on a guitar, now go to the second, that interval's built into the instrument. But when you sing, if I said sing an F, now sing an F sharp, you could be like, you can do whatever. And so it's a lot about learning that muscular discipline. And then some people can just never do that. Some people can. Some people are born with it. So singing's a little bit of a different animal. If you can't sing well, maybe we can get you doing like some bohemian poetry or something where it's more about rhythm than actual notes. Let's see. Okay, I saw that. You two sound a lot alike. You two who? I don't know who that was about, but she did leave. So, let's see here. Yes, I would say everyone has it in them. I'm an awful singer, but it's still music, and at some point it's about creating together. Yeah, even if you're just singing to yourself, if you enjoy it, go for it. I enjoy singing when I'm by myself. See, there we go. And I tell you what, here's a secret. Just crank the radio up. Can't hear yourself, but you still feel like you're part of it. Action was low and the neck on the 12 string was thinner, shallower, and the fret arch worked with my finger better. Yeah, that will definitely help. Struggle with suicidal thoughts while you're in middle school, high school. As a part of your history, you don't really hide it when it comes up, but making music with people is a large part while you're still here. There's a lot of good things that come from it outside of a creative outlet. Yes. Let's see here. When the world fails, music speaks. Hans Christian Andersen, one of your favorite music quotes. I've never heard that one. I like that, though. See, I'd literally just sing the letter F. Bohemian poetry, rhythmic, like rap. Yeah, a little bit. Bohemian Rhapsody stuck in your head. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we have got Dagcraft joining the game, leaving the game, joining the game. And my big question to you is Dagcraft streaming the game? That's the real question. Blame Piggy. Exactly. Always blame Piggy. Piggy's got thick skin. He can handle it. Let's see. That's literally a piece by... Wait. The instructions are choose a pitch and hold it as long as desired and repeat at will. See, you're a musician. Pauline Oliveros. I don't think that's the same person I'm thinking of. It just made me think of like another odd piece of music. I can't remember the name of the artist, but there's this artist. I learned about this in music theory years ago. He had written this song. He called it 4 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. I can't remember the exact name. Okay. And this artist, he was very experimental in the things he did. So this song, he would be on stage. He would play this song 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And what he would do is he would sit with his hands on his lap, and he wouldn't do anything for 4.5 minutes. John Cage, yes, yes. His idea of the song was whatever sounds in life were happening during that 4.5 minutes, that was the song. So every time he performed the song, it never sounded the same twice, which is such a crazy, genius idea. I mean, you don't enjoy it on the same level as like some song you can sing to or dance to or play, but the concept of the song, it was so cool to just like come up with this completely different idea of what a song could be. If anything, it kind of breaks your mind from being stuck in a box of these are the parameters that make a song. There's nothing else like that. Okay. That to me is what I got from it, what I thought was so cool. All right, so let me see here if I can figure out how to raid Dagcraft. Sort of reminds you of the movie August Rush. I've never even heard of that movie. I might have to look that up. His philosophy that everything is music and nothing is not music is super fun to think about. Yeah, I've never heard of that one either. That's a cool philosophy. Zerk or PP Zerk, let me see. I'm going to move over to Discord real quick. Could y'all dump into Discord what the command is I need to do to send everyone to raid Dagcraft? Because I do believe Dagcraft would enjoy a small little raid from a little pig. Let's see here. Make sure I'm in the right channel here real quick. And I have enjoyed this stream. Once again, oh, there we go. That'll work. That'll work. I have enjoyed this evening with everyone. I thank everyone so much for stopping by and hanging out. Just listening to me ramble on. Thank you all so much for the raiders and everyone who has stopped by. It's capital C on the craft. Okay, let me go ahead and alter that real quick here. So, and I don't know when, but hopefully in the next couple of days we will do another stream together. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if I don't get to talk to you until then, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you, everybody. And let's go give Dagcraft a hard time.